Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Please comment, rate, subscribe, folks. Comment, rate, subscribe, like the videos. Also, share the videos. I want to thank everyone that does like, watching, and share my videos. You folks are the absolute best. Listen, folks, there's a link tree down below. Has links to all of my social media platforms. Please go down there. Follow me across all my social media platforms and talk to me because I'll talk back. Also down there as well as links to all of my YouTube pages. Please go down there, subscribe to all my YouTube pages, and turn on your notifications so when I post content, you folks will be in the know. Now, with that said and done and put to the side, I've come to talk to you folks today about the New York Jets and Ben Johnson not happening. Okay? It's not happening, baby. According to reports, all right, Ben Johnson, okay, he's over there with the Lions right now. Ben Johnson has made it very clear he is not interested, okay, in being the head coach of the New York Jets, all right, according to reports. We're going to get into that. We're also going to be talking about Brian Flores as well, a candidate that is coming in interview with the New York Jets, and I'm going to talk about him, man, because I think he's a solid option for the New York Jets to become the next head coach. So we're going to start with Ben Johnson. Again, like the videos, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell, all right? Now listen, according to reports, Ben Johnson has made it clear through the back channels in the NFL that he is not interested in becoming the New York Jets head coach. All right. Now, I know there's a lot of Jets fans that were just like up in arms, okay, at the idea of Ben Johnson being the guy, okay, being the guy to come on into the building. We know that Lions offense is cooking and everybody's like, whoa. And again, he's a really hot name right now in candidate head coaching circles. Like he's one of the hottest names to bring in, get this guy, he'll fix your offense and do all kind of things, all right? Now, I want you folks to hear what Connor Rogers had to say to Evan and Tiki about this situation. Here's the audio.
Ben Johnson let the Jets know, whether it was through back channel or just straight up, Ben Johnson was not interested in the Jets whatsoever. So this was not, and I think from the Jets, now the Jets have their own questions about him. Like I know Ben's done an incredible job with Detroit. The offense is unbelievable. I think there is a lot of questions around him of what are you going to do when you don't have the best offensive line in the NFL and all of these playmakers everywhere. Ben is also incredibly close with Adam Gase. So I'm sure if there were letters of recommendation that were sent out, I don't think Adam was sending one to Ben regarding the Jets. And the Jets also, they had a couple concerns with how Ben Johnson was going to handle the New York market, just because of how his personality is, the way that he's kind of wired. I don't think that New York was going to be a great fit for him.
Yeah.
He was not interested at all.
That keeps coming up, Connor. I mean, how big of a deal is that? And who, if you haven't been in this market, can handle it? It takes some time to understand how the media is going to be, how the fan base is going to be in this market. I mean, it almost feels disqualifying for most.
It does. And that's why I think Glenn works a lot. I think that's why Vrabel would have worked a lot. That's why I think Flores, I don't know, I think Flores, it's almost like a poor man's Vrabel in terms of like he's bringing the culture, he's bringing the discipline, which this Jets team could use quite a bit of. The no nonsense, no BS, like he's going to kick some players where they don't really feel like being kicked and make guys uncomfortable. I think that's what the Jets need, and I don't think that Flores in any way, shape, or form is going to be intimidated by the media.
Yeah, he doesn't care.
Which could be what the Jets. Yeah, but yeah. Ben Johnson was one where, like, I've heard some things, even just how he's personally viewed with way that kind of just the way that he acts and things like that. That I don't think it would work here, and the Jets certainly shared that opinion. And I think their stance was like, look, we know you're not interested in us. Why are we going to file a request just for you to turn us down when we already have our own concerns about how you're going to handle the market? So it was like, we're not interested in you. You're not interested in us.
Booyah. Okay? Booyah. All right? It is what it is. It's all there laid out. Okay? Listen, I'm not disappointed because, again, this is a report put out by Connor Rogers, very respected guy that, writes about the Jets and follows the Jets and does his thing with the Jets, constantly talking about the Jets. We know he's a ton of connections around the NFL as well. I'm not disappointed because I never thought that Ben Johnson was a realistic option for the New York Jets. I never thought he was a realistic option. I just didn't. I didn't think that he would come here. There's a lot of other, openings around the NFL that I think are a bit, more attractive than the New York Jets at this point. And there's a lot of things that Connor Rogers said in, that interview that made me think that from the jump when I thought about Ben Johnson. First, I've heard about the ties to Adam Gase for a while. Adam Gase is one of the worst coaches the New York. Actually, he is the worst coach the New York Jets have ever had in franchise history. That guy is. Ooh, don't even get me started. Okay, don't even get me started on Adam Gase and how much I disliked Adam Gase and everything that he did. He ruined the football team. He ruined the franchise's tenure here, and he ruined the experience of being a Jets fan when he was the New York Jets head coach. So I'm pretty sure Ben Johnson asked him, "Hey, what are your thoughts about the Jets?" We didn't get any hoorah, hip hip hooray stuff from him. It was probably like, "Don't do it, dog." Like that's probably what it was. But another thing that a lot of people don't talk about is, and Connor Rogers touched on this, was Ben Johnson not being a fit to deal with everything that is New York, as far as the media, the fan base, stuff like that, outside the X and O stuff, right? And man, that's something that's real. Because the media and the fan base will eat you alive here. They'll destroy you if you don't have it together, right? You come out, you act in a certain way. I'm telling you, this fan base will absolutely destroy you, let alone the media that just can't wait to take something that you say, a little snippet, a little tidbit, okay? Just take a little something that you say and flip it and spin a narrative that will just absolutely spiral out of control. They are professionals at that. Every Jets fan will tell you that they're professionals at doing that, okay? So if there's questions about him and how he would deal with the media and how he would be able to handle the situation, the pressure cooker that is being a New York Jets head coach, then again, he's not the right guy, and you just have to move on. He may be great at X's and O's and all that stuff, but if you can't deal with all the other stuff, you're gonna get crumbled here. We've seen, right, the fan base and the media run coaches out of here. Okay, as much as we loved Rex, and I loved Rex Ryan to death, I really, really do. But on his way out of here, they ran him up out of here. Even Rex, they ran up out of here. Okay, the New York Jets media and fan base is one of the reasons why a lot of players do not want to play for the New York Jets. We have a long history. The Jets media and fan base have a long history of running people up out of here. So it is what it is there. We'll see what happens going forward, okay? Now, moving on from that situation, I want to talk a little bit about Brian Flores, man. Brian Flores has completed an interview with the New York Jets, and I think that this guy is a really, really good option for the New York Jets, all right? We know that he was an assistant coach in New England from 2004 to, I think, about 2018. Then he moved on from that and became the Dolphins head coach, okay? And there was some issues there. 2019, 2021, there was some issues there with the Dolphins. According to reports, he had got into it with the owner, right? The owner wanted to tank. He was not interested in tanking. He wanted to go out there and keep pushing, keep competing, keep pressing hard. There's a lot of problems between him and the owner because of that. Then they ended up with Tua, right? And him and Tua didn't mesh very well. Tua actually came out and said that Brian Flores was a terrible person, okay? Brian Flores came out and responded to that, saying that he, it didn't feel good to be talked about in that manner, but hey, that he was just going to take it and say, how can I become better from this situation? Ryan Fitzpatrick came out and talked a little bit about Brian Flores as well, because he spent some time under him too. And he talked about how Brian Flores is a guy that at first was really relatable and the players liked him, and he wanted a lot out of players, but they were willing to give it to him. And push and run through a wall from him. Then all of a sudden, things kind of changed as his tenure continued on there. He became more of a dictator, and it was just kind of like, the bridges kind of burned between him and, people that were there. So I just look at it like he's a hard-nosed guy, man. A coach that expects a lot, and he understands that there's a lot of pressure. And maybe that pressure, started to really push where he did become a guy that was like, listen, I want things done right, and I want it done my way. And, that's probably, some of the things that went on. And again, there was a lot of things that happened again after the Dolphins. He still has an active lawsuit against the NFL for racial discrimination. So that's still active there. In 2022, he went and was with the Steelers under Mike Tomlin, which I'm sure that a lot of these things that he's learned along the way after becoming a Dolphins head coach have helped him become better as well. Maybe relating to players just a little bit, right? And maybe it also kind of changed his leadership style a little bit as well. especially, again, under Tomlin. You start to see the way that he leads, and you'll learn some things from there. Also, we know he's the Vikings defensive coordinator currently. And, man, let me tell you something. That Vikings defense is ridiculously good under him. It's really, really good. Like, they're putting things together. I think they're like the #2 rushing defense. Man, they get a lot of takeaways as well, a lot of turnovers. That defense is I'm telling you, they are sharp. And he's the guy leading the pack there, for that defense. And he's making the calls and handling his business. And again, he's under Kevin O'Connell, who's another good head coach. And I'm pretty sure he's learning from him and his leadership style too. So I like the idea, man, of Brian Flores being a head coach here. I think he's the guy that's going to come in and be no nonsense. And one of the things that I really love is the fact that I feel like Brian Flores is going to hold guys accountable. Oh my goodness. If you try the nonsense, if the New York Jets come out and have a 12 penalty game, some of these guys out here constantly getting penalized and all, you're going to be on the bench. He's not going to be a guy that's going to play around with you. You're not going to be able to come out and just do whatever on the field and just get away with it. He's not dealing with that. He's not dealing with it. Brian Flores is going to let you know, and if you continue on, he's going to get in your face too. Some of these guys on the Jets, some of these guys need a coach to get in their face and tell them, hey, look, cut out the nonsense. Get it together. Go out there and be a professional and do your job. Like real talk. Real talk. Real talk. Okay? And I think that Brian Flores is the guy that's going to bring that to the New York Jets. Going out there, being disciplined, and getting it together. Okay? So I like the idea of Flores being the Jets. And again, he had some solid seasons with the Dolphins as well. 2019 was rough. They were 5-11. But he turned it around. 2020, they were 10-6. Okay, then in 2021 they were 9-8. So he did some things in this league and handled his business. So I like the idea of him being the New York Jets' next head coach. So with that said and done, listen, comment down below. Okay, let me know what you folks think. What are your thoughts about Ben Johnson? Letting it be known through the back channels, according to reports, that he ain't interested. He ain't interested in New York Jets, dog. He ain't interested. What are your thoughts about Brian Flores, okay, possibly becoming the New York Jets' next head coach? What are your thoughts about that? Comment down below. Let me know what you folks think. You folks have a good one. Peace.